I just finished machining the two Kingway straight edges, and while I've got the shaper set up, I'm going to go ahead and get this this new 18-inch straight edge machined and get it finished up. So this right here was given to me by Gary Cude. He's got the website and the YouTube channel Tools for Machines, and he donated this to the shop here, and he offers these up for sale. He's got this is an 18-inch, and he's also got a 36-inch, and he's got a vast array of other cast iron type machine tool accessories over there on his website that one can purchase and finish the machining themselves. So let's go ahead and set this up. I'm going to do this in the same manner as I did the Kingway straight edges, and this is a great project for a shaper. This is the kind of stuff that I want to do in a shaper. I know that I've got a lot of guys wanting to see like the K&T mill do some stuff, but I want other projects suited for the mill. This is stuff that's greatly done on a shaper, especially with it being cast iron, but so anyway, we're going to go set it up now and start getting this thing machined in, because when I go to the scraping class in January, I want to take all three of these, and hopefully when I'm done with that class, all three of these will be scraped in and ready to use for inspection and machine tool reconditioning and rebuilding. So we're going to start with cutting an angle, since I've already got the tool head set for that, and then once we get the angle cut, then we'll finish the other two sides. So what I'm going to do, I've already got all this cleaned out, wiped out good. I got these two parallels that we're going to set in here, and what I'm trying to do is just kind of bring the height of the straight edge up some, so that it's not so close to the vise right here. And we're also going to position it as far out to this end of the vise as I can, with still holding it good. So we're just going to be clamping directly on this support rib right here. That's where it gets its name from, the the Camelback name, because of this big hump. And I did measure it with just my calipers, and it seems to be pretty consistent, within about 5 thousandths plus or minus there. So you can see I've still got my sandpaper in there. That provides a good, strong, etchy type bond with these slippery cast machine surfaces like this. We're just going to bring that out to probably right about there, a little bit further. All right, I'm just going to snug it just very gently. And what I would like to do, this is not straight by any means, but what I'd like to do is get it as level as possible. So we'll run an indicator across here and just get these 2 points pretty well centered, equally, and then we'll cut it from there. We're going to use the Noga, the dial indicator with, see the large radius button on there, and that's what we'll use to skate across this cast surface. I think I'll just put it right here on the tool, or let's see if I got room. I might be able to just put it right up here on the clapper box. See if I can reach down there. Yeah, we got enough room there. And I don't want to indicate the grind, because that's going to be uneven. Let's just go with the cast. Let's see where it's less bumpy. I'm going to say right in this area here. It looks pretty good. All right, well, let's turn it to where it's orientated. There you go. A little clamp straight there. I did some adjusting on the ram to get the indicator position where we need to, and so we're ready to go here. So approximately 100 thousandths high on this end. See if we can use our nylon hammer. Shouldn't be very tight, yeah. Just a little at a time there. See if we split our difference. A little bit. So let's say 40, 42. That looks pretty good right there. Let me give it a little snug and make sure it stays. About 45 on this end, about 45 on that end. So we're pretty well leveled out right there. And you can see we've got a low spot in the middle here. All right, we're ready to start cutting. Maybe you guys can see, so I'm going to relieve this side of the tool, get rid of some of that material, thin it out a little bit, and then you'll have tool clearance underneath this edge right there. To finish up my hones, I usually use this Easy Lap diamond hone. You got the diamond lap on one side, and you got the ultra fine white stone on the other side there. Just provides a nice polish on the hone and on the edge there. Always just do this by hand. And once your edge looks high polished, you're ready to go. When you hone it in, it should, when you're looking at it, it should look about like chrome, or like looking through a mirror there. You just want that edge, the edge that's doing all the cutting there, to be razor sharp. So let's see if this works right here. I think it'll give us what we need, hopefully. I just had a screw up. I was coming in here to touch the tool off, and on the backstroke, the clapper lifted and pulled the tool into the angle here and chipped out this top edge. Even though this is chipped out, I think this is still going to be okay. We're going to be able to machine this angle here and then machine the top, so we'll probably clean that up. But what this does, this really frustrates me, because the way that I had the clapper set on the other one, I had it right, and I knew that I had it right. And the only reason I was doubting myself is because I read a comment where somebody said I was doing it wrong, so I started thinking about it, and you know, looking at the swing of the arc. this does seem like it makes sense that it would clear, but you see right here, this is proof that I was underneath here cutting it and it drug and then it caught this. And the reason why I was touching off here is because the angle isn't exactly 45, so the first cut would actually start here. So I wasn't actually touching here yet. But to prove that I've got the clapper set wrong, I'm going to show you my book. As I said a minute ago, I swung the clapper to the left side thinking that I was incorrect before and thinking that this was the right way. But in fact, if you're cutting that angle that way, this clapper is supposed to be swung to the right to clear the tool. And I'm going to show you in the book where it says that. All right, right here. This is the section talking about cutting an angle, which is what we're doing. And if you look right here, the clapper box should also be swiveled to the right, figure 1025, which is up here. I'll show you that. To allow the tool to swing clear of the work on the return stroke of the ram. This prevents the tool from dragging, reduces damage of the cutting edge, and produces better surface finishes. If you look right here at this illustration, this is what we're doing. All right, that's the angle that we're cutting right there, and you can see the clapper is swung to the right side. All right, so this proves that I was right the first time. I knew that I was right and I was doing it right, and I shouldn't listen to what everybody tells me. I like to go off the stuff that I learn in my books right here when I'm running this machine. So I'm going to go back and reset the clapper the correct way. I'm going to re-indicate it, make sure I didn't move it, and then we're going to start our cuts. Getting the tool set back up again, and we're touching off, and I wanted to prove my concept here. So you can see as the clapper is swung to clear the cut on the way back, you see the arc angle? It arcs away from the part. So the way I had it before, I had the clapper swung to the left side, it arced into the part. So this is the right way to do this. So now I don't have to worry about it screwing up again. All right, so we're ready to make our first cut there. We got everything set, we got our cam plate set up. And you guys remember how to set your strokes per minute. So cast iron is recommended 60 feet per minute. So 60 times 7 divided by the length. I've got it set at 19 inches, and that puts you at 22 strokes a minute. I've actually got the machine set at 19 strokes a minute, so just a shade under what the recommended speed is. And touched off here, move the table over 62 thousandths or 1/16 of an inch. We'll see how it does. I don't know how it's going to do until we do it. Let's go. 24 thousandths down feed. That's looking pretty good. I always have to stop the cut out here at the end and raise the tool up, because when you bring the tool back, all the way back to the beginning of the stroke, when it's up on this cam plate, you can't actually move this. It's engaged. So you got to do it out here somewhere. All right, it's looking pretty nice in there, and we'll just keep our cuts going. I have been noticing a little bit of deflection in the tool, and I think it's because I didn't have the gibs adjusted, or this gib adjusted all the way over like it should be. So I've been making fine adjustments here. It's a real fine line of having it too tight and having it just right. And you can tell once you start running this thing enough, you should have just a slight amount of friction so that when you let out of the clutch, it doesn't just free slide out. You should be able to let go of the clutch and it kind of come to a stop fairly quick. So I'm going to keep monitoring it and maybe making fine adjustments on this gib screw here to try to get this thing. This is the gib here, and all it does is just push over into the ramway right here, and see if I can minimize that deflection that I'm seeing. I'm going to shoot for this being my finished cut here on the angle. We get through with this cut, I'll inspect it and see. I took the tool out and reground it because it had a little bit of a burnt edge on it, and reground it, rehone it, and taking a lighter cut, lighter feed rate. I'm real pleased with how this finish turned out, and I actually did a much better job on this one than I did on the Kingway straight edge. I should have paid a little bit more attention to that, but I did better on my tool, and then I slowed the feed rate down more, took a very light cut on there. Plus with the adjustment on the gibs, I think it really improved it there. So this is looking really nice. I look forward to when we get this out of here and running the stone across it and just seeing you know how nice and flat that surface really is. So this is done now. You can see the chip there. That was from the accident we had earlier. But I plan on cutting the top, and we're just gonna remove that chip by coming down far enough and cleaning all of it up to remove that. Time to swing our tool head back around to 90 degrees. So this is the clamp for it right here. Inside there, it's like a split ring that tightens up on the housing area of the tool head here. Locks it. So I'm just gonna tap it. Soft blow, not a hard blow hammer. We'll just eyeball it as close as we can right there, and then I'll use probably a cylinder square and an indicator, and then run this up and down, and to make sure that that we're actually nice and true in a vertical position here. We're going to use the bed of the vise here to set our cylinder square on, just getting the dust off, and then we'll use our stone here to make sure that we don't have any high spots on it. I've actually never stoned it back here, and there's a lot of little minute dings and high areas from tools and things being set on it that it's cleaning down. This is a lot smoother and flatter right in there. I'll go ahead and get the other side while I'm at it. Alright, so this is our cylinder square that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use the precision stones here to just polish the bottom and make sure there's no raised spots on it. And it feels good right out of the drawer like that. All right, we should be good to go there. We'll just set that right there, and then this is what we'll indicate. I've got the square just pushed up against that jaw of the vise here. We're going to go I've got the tool tool head all the way up. All right, and then what I can do is just kind of, looks like I was already on it. You can just rotate it here to find top dead center, or directly onto the side, and then we can fine tune it with the bottom adjust here. And we'll go ahead and start lowering it down. All right, so we actually went a little bit too far. Actually, I think I'm reading it backwards. I think we didn't go far enough, actually. You don't have to go the whole length there. I'm just going about what's comfortable there. As long as you get 2 or 3 inches reading, that's about all you need. Just about there. That wiggling that you see of the indicator is the little bit of play that you have in the gib and in the screw moving around in there. Once you use the lock over here, it tightens everything up. Looking pretty good to me, right about there. We're going to lock her in. One thing that I wasn't doing enough really was filing the outer edge there, and it's something that you should do on cast iron so that it doesn't chip out. It'll leave little chip marks there at the very end of the cut. Just try to remember to do it. So we'll start with that, but we'll probably have to do it again. After touch off, I've got it fed down 100 thousandths. We're making a pretty good cut on this. This is after our very first rough and pass, and this area over here looks pretty good. This spot over here, I'm not really sure what's going on. It almost looks like it's trying to skip a little bit, so I don't know what's up with that. But we're going to keep going so that we can clean this edge up and continue to file this corner off so it doesn't chip the end of it out. Reset our cut for our vertical down feed to cut the side in. I think I'm going to have it cleaned up in one pass there. Using a 24 thousandths down feed and approximately 30 thousandths after I touch the side. Just doing a one more of a finish cut here. There was a couple little hollows down in there from the cast that wasn't clean up, so I took another 10 thousandths, slowed the feed rate down as well, and hopefully this will just be my final cut on that edge. Getting my square nose tool set up and then rehoned. And if you want to see a detailed rundown on what I'm doing here in the technique and what to do, you'll check out the last video I did with the HKA 24 straight edge, and I go into more detail on that one, showing this technique right here. I had a few folks confused about my honing technique for the flat nose tool. So the clapper box is lowered down at a slight bit of an angle on top of the stone here. So if I pivot this up and remove the stone and lower the tool back down and lay the stone in there, you can see that it goes over against the tool. Okay, so you raise it up some, put the stone underneath it, and then you lower it down with the lead screw a little at a time, and then just drop it down on there gently so that whenever you hone it, see, now you're going to be honing it, and this is how I hone it here. Run it back and forth on the stone, and I just move around, so I'm never in the same spot. So once you're done honing, once you remove the stone and you lower it all the way back down, then you'll have the built-in clearance behind the tool edge there. there's that first cut with the square nose tool, and it looks really good. Typically, I always get a little bit heavier of a cut the first time, so I usually come back and try to dial in like 1/1000 and go across there again. So I'm going to make another finish pass on there. So this will be the result of our finish cuts. I actually made a total of 3 of the finish cuts on there, and it turned out just beautiful. It is so smooth. I did hone it with the precision ground stones, by the way, so it's nice and slick. And I think in the camera you can kind of see the high spots coming through that were touched with the stones. See if I can get you a little closer look of what the surface finish looks like on the cast. This is a little bit of a porous cast there, and Gary had even mentioned that in his letter. He thought it was a little bit porous for his liking there, but it turned out really nice. Let me see if I can show you the whole thing here. Really, really nice. This is one of my favorite cuts to make here on the Shaper, is finishing this cast iron like that, where you can get these parallel lines, and it just I wish you could feel it. It just really feels. I know you would think that rubbing your finger across that you could feel those grooves, but I'm telling you, you can't feel that. It's just so smooth. So we'll bring the surface gauge over here and check this one like we did the other ones, and see. We'll just go across the cuts here, and what we want to see is how flat the cuts are, you know, highs and lows, in just like a one localized area like right here. That is a 10th resolution indicator, by the way, so looking pretty good. Scanning across those cut lines there, looks really nice. I almost forgot that I wanted to trim the ends on this one right here, so I've got it all set up. I've got the tool kind of at an angle because the table is all the way over this way as far as I could get it, so I just angled all this so that I could get in there and get it cut. So got everything ready to go, and let's do it. It's gonna be running a little bit faster this time. I got it set at 84 strokes a minute, 20 thousandths down feed. right, that looks pretty good. I think we're ready to roll on that side. I did see a little bit of flexing in this. You might have saw it in video. There's not a lot of support up here. So. All right, let's go to the other side and get it done. All right, she's ready to take out of the vise now. Here's our first good look at the 45 cut. All right, Gary, I hope you like it in the way that we machined it. We'll do a quick check here on the granite plate just to see how it hinges. Oh, I think it's going to be about like the other ones there. It looks like it's hinging more towards the end. Yeah, this one's out here towards the end right there. So slightly lower in the middle there, or higher, whichever way you want to look at it. But I think that's pretty flat right there. I may even do some further checking and see just about what the difference is there. I need to set up an indicator and set up some really good blocks for this to sit on, and we can get up underneath there and sweep that with an indicator and kind of get an idea. I would think that it was that it should be within 1/1000ths, but that's just me guessing. But looking real nice. I like it. There's you a shot of what the straight edge looks like sitting on the blocks right here. I've got them equally spaced from the end, approximately 5 inches right there on each side there. So got an indicator set up on the back side. So I'm going to try to get you the best shot that I can. Let's get you around there and sweep this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these this set of blocks right here. These are some of the best blocks that I have in the shop. These are Toolmakers 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I already know that these things are about as spot on as I can have, and I'll show them to you. But what we're going to do is that we'll set these blocks like so, and then we're going to set our straight edge on top of that, and then we'll use the indicator like that and sweep underneath it and see what kind of reading that we get across the bottom. So we're transferring, these are just going to be used like parallels to bring the flat plane surface up from this surface here. All right, but I'll show you real quick. I already got a 0 set, and we'll put these together, and I'll show you how close these are so that you'll know that we've got a pretty good set of blocks right here to use as parallels. That indicator moved a little bit once I got them underneath there, about 1/10, but everywhere I measure, come off there. There we go. It's within 1/10 everywhere you go as far as parallel and squareness goes. So you can see. So we should be within about 1/10 by using these blocks right here. All right. So let me go ahead and get this, I'll get everything set up and I'll bring you back once I have everything ready to check. We're going to do a sweep underneath the 18-inch Camelback straight edge here. That's from end to end. Back again. Looks to me like we're within about a half a thousandths on that one. All right, guys, well, that's going to conclude the machining of the 18-inch Camelback straight edge there. All I got left to do right now is I'm just going to coat it down and put some of the SP300 rust inhibitor on there. Make sure it doesn't start flashing on me. And from here, like I said, we're going to be going over to the scraping class and plan on scraping all three of these in, or I hope anyway. Hopefully I'll have time to get all of them done, but I'm real pleased with how this turned out. I showed you the inspection of how flat the surface is right there, and I think it did really well coming off of a shaper. Really well. Just looks so good. I almost hate to scrape it. These look so good there, but I'm actually looking forward to getting some time on the biax and start getting my practice in a little bit and get these things scraped in though. So hope you enjoyed the project. Again, thanks Gary Cude over there at Tools for Machines for supplying this to me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you again soon.